So the first thing we talked about is just making better solid contact with the ball. There's 6 things that someone possibly can move to get energy in the swing, right? Our shoulders and our hips and our wrists. We got our core muscles. We have our legs that push off the ground as a force, and then we have our arms. And those are the ones we kind of want to work with. As you watch a tour player go through and hit the ball, you can see they're not trying to get under, they're compressing. You see that ball club's going to hit the ball, and then the green arrow, that's a compression. This creates leverage, so we want to apply leverage to the ball. So not trying to get underneath it and lift it anyway, we just need to apply leverage. To get to this leverage feeling, whether we're hitting a chip or a full swing, it's still, leverage will always be the same. Hands and tour players are very quiet. There's not a lot going on. They're playing leverage. They're not doing their hands like they would be playing tennis. Now, how do we get to that point in your swing? The first thing we're going to do is you have a tendency to move from the shoulders. If I go up here, you'll see your shoulders dominating your golf swing. It's up here, this part up here. This part up here, your shoulders will start twisting. This pulls you away from the hit. And so if you're trying to hit the ball, you're being pulled away, and then your hands have to get that active. See how they're doing the windshield wiper? And that windshield wiper is the opposite of what we saw over here, where the hands are very quiet and playing leverage. Since your shoulders spin, your hands have to flip. Now we're going to hit the ball. It's going to hit the ground or top. And that your hand went to flexion, and still we stayed in extension down here where this hand stays here. And extension, which is leverage, instead of flipping. Now, the flipping is a symptom of you moving from your shoulders. So how do we get that move out of there? Where we're going to move other things. So in this drill, we did. So Roy on the left, I'm on the right. And what we're doing is I'm playing leverage to the ball. We're getting leverage from a couple things here. The right arm will fold. See my right arm fold. And you see this part of the body here is staying close. My arm is staying close to my body. The right arm is folding from my elbow. That's creating speed like I'm throwing a ball. But my force of energy is coming from my lower half, my core, my legs, and my arm. So those are going that way. When you get in trouble, you twist with the shoulders and you slap. And then your arms can't really release. You just kind of extend them down. So you kind of hit and hold. So we're trying to get that feeling of being close. So this is John Rahm, even though they look different with Roy, but how's they hit? We make contact the same way. Power from that lower half, arms and body. So we're trying to get the lower half, arms and body, creating a hitting feeling. Now after impact, as these tour players are heading towards the ball, there's the hit we just saw. Now right about here, that's a force of energy right here. We're trying to get a force. Eventually this energy is leaving you, going into that golf club, and that's the slingshot. See the club just going flying by them. That's generating the force from a force to the speed into the golf club. We're just going to let it fly. Now, because of your mishit, you've learned to stand or slam on the brakes, and that's why your swing stops right there. For it to stop there, you had to slow it down way before here. You had to slow it down to stop it here. So once we get here in that slingshot, we're going to hit and just let everything release. Feel that club really just swinging down and letting it go. So here's a chipping drill. It's kind of the same thing. I'm hitting with that same drill we saw me hitting into the bag. I'm using my core muscles, and I'm hitting, which is compressing the ball you see below. So we're trying to get that hit, core muscles, and through. Again, here's me doing the drill, hitting the bag. That's a force. It's a good drill for you to feel that power from there. In the lower half, this gets me to the hit, and then this gets me to the slingshot. Just let it fly. Let's take a look at your swing after we made a few changes. So here, as you can see here, this is you heading down to hit that bag. Instead of you spinning away from the bag, spinning and holding, you went down to hit. And that's your power, just like we saw in the drills, and then you can let it release. So there's a hit, and then it will release the energy like a slingshot up to the finish. So the hit is a force of energy. Picture the bag is right there. We're going to hit that bag as a force, slingshot up. So now it gets you the power to get this clear speed. We got to let it swing and release. And that pulls you up to a whole different finish. See how you finish naturally? So that's a good way to get all this energy and have a natural finish. But this is where you're turning and holding and pushing, and not a lot of power in that swing.